Okay, after we have completed our application, let's see how we can manage and generate this app for deployment, for actually publicated in the store. Let's go to the build grado in our app level. There are a couple of things that we can do here. Like in this case, this application only have one flavor, will be just one release. But there are times that we want to have multiple versions of our application. Imagine that this app could be like a free version or a paid version. We have something called product flavors. Where we can define different versions of the app. In this case, we can call one free. Here we can add, put a different application ID. Specifying as a string what we want. Let's put something like this one, adding the value free at the end. Also, we can have different versions name. Let's call this one 1.2 free. There's also an interesting part of the build config file. You can define strings from here and use it from the code. Like in this case, let's add a different name for our application. For example, res, we can call res value. In the case we want to define it as a string, as the one we have for the resources. We say the type string, we put the name. The name could be app name, and finally we add the value. Spoon to do free, to do list free. Also, we have another type of value. It's called build config field, which is something that could be called from our code from a Java class. Config field. We receive a string. We say it's going to be a string. We put the name of the value of this field. Let's call it, for example, we can call it, I don't know, maybe like a config variable, like the this one could be like if we have a reference for a different server. Let's put a base URL, and finally we add the value http dash spoon galileo.edu/free. For example, we can have another one for the paid version. We call this one paid. And we change the URI, the version name, and the name of the app. And we don't need the name of the config file. For example, this one. In this case, if we try to compile the project, we're going to have an error because we already have a reference result file called app name, you would see. But for example, the build config file, as you see, results duplicated. We need to remove them from the results values. And now we are okay. Let's go to a class, like for the provider, to the main activity could be. And if we want to make a reference, there's a class called build config. If you click, you can see the app ID, the build the build type, if the application is in the book, the flavor, the version name, version code, and this is an string. That's the way you can access or declare like configuration strings based on flavors. Now, if you want to generate this flavor, once you go to generate APK, you will see like here you will have different flavors, one for the book, one for the release, also for that same one. And so if you want to run it also in the simulator, we work the same way. So the way we generate the APK, we go to the menu, build, generate sign APK. We need to define a key store. Once we define this key store, we just hit next. We select the flavor and the build type, and then this is generating our APK. Once the APK has been generated, you can use it for distribute this application or to the store, or maybe if you had to pass it to another team in order to try it out, it's also the same file.